My family spent 23 years joking that I must be the mailman's kid because I look nothing like them. Last Thanksgiving, we got our DNA results back, and it turns out they were making fun of the wrong sibling. In my family, there were two kinds of kids, the one who belonged in me. My brother Ryan was the perfect child with my dad's jawline and my mom's green eyes and the same athletic build that made everyone say, "Wow, he's definitely yours," at every family gathering. I got the opposite, with strangers at barbecues asking if I was a friend from school and relatives squinting at me trying to find any resemblance at all. My parents never corrected anyone, and Ryan loved pointing out how different I looked every chance he got. "Are you sure you weren't switched at birth?" became his favorite joke by the time I was 10, and my parents always laughed like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. Growing up, the jokes never stopped, and they only got more creative as we got older. At my high school graduation, my uncle asked my mom, "Whose kid is that again?" loud enough for 3 rows to hear, and everyone laughed while I walked across the stage. When I got into a better college than Ryan, my dad said I must have inherited brains from whoever my real father is, and my mom nearly spit out her wine from laughing so hard. At family dinners, I sat at the end of the table while Ryan got the seat next to Dad, and nobody thought twice about it because it just made sense to put the real son in the place of honor. Last Christmas, Ryan decided it would be hilarious for everyone to take ancestry DNA tests as a family bonding activity, saying he couldn't wait to prove once and for all that he was 100% Dad's kid and finally solve the mystery of which mailman I belonged to. My mom got really quiet and said she didn't think we needed to waste money on something like that, but my dad laughed and said it sounded like fun and asked Ryan to hand out the kits. We all swabbed our cheeks between bites of ham, while Ryan kept making jokes about how shocked we'd all be when my results came back. 6 weeks later, the results finally hit our emails, and Ryan insisted we all open them together at Sunday dinner so everyone could see the big reveal. I almost didn't go, but something told me I needed to be there for this one. We all sat around the table with our phones out, and Ryan counted down from 3 like it was New Year's Eve. I opened my results and immediately scrolled to the part that showed family connections, and what I saw made me look up at Ryan to see if he was seeing the same thing. His face had gone completely white. Ryan looked up from his phone and said, "This has to be a mistake," in a voice I had never heard from him before. My dad asked what was wrong, and Ryan just shook his head and kept scrolling like he was looking for something that would fix what he was seeing. I looked down at my own results and saw exactly what had broken him. Under DNA relatives, Ryan was listed as my half-sibling, and every single match on Dad's side of the family connected to me and not to him. 23 years of mailman jokes, and Ryan was the one who didn't belong. My dad grabbed Ryan's phone, and I watched his face change as he realized what he was looking at, and then he turned to my mom and asked her who Ryan's father was in a voice so calm it was terrifying. My mom started crying and saying it was a long time ago, and it didn't mean anything, and Ryan just kept repeating, "This can't be right," over and over while my dad sat there doing the math on which of his friends had been around 9 months before Ryan was born. I didn't say a word because I didn't have to, and for the first time in my entire life, nobody in my family was laughing. I stood up from the table and grabbed my jacket, and my dad looked at me like he was seeing me clearly for the first time in his life. Ryan finally looked up from his phone and asked where I was going, and I just said, "Home. I'll let you guys figure this one out." My mom begged me to stay and said we needed to talk about this as a family. I said, "That's funny because I've never really been part of this family until about 5 minutes ago." I walked out the front door and sat in my car for a minute just to enjoy the silence, and then I laughed harder than I had laughed in years.